Hey guys, it is a pleasure to have Dr. Satbir here again and be able to extract his wealth of knowledge. Today we're going to be talking about NMN. So I'm just going to pass this straight over to you just to give us a description of what actually is NMN.
Right here, so NMN stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide. It's a molecule that changes into ATP, and ATP, as we all know, is energy. So with age, our levels of NAD, so NMN changes into NAD plus, and NAD plus changes to ATP. And as we are aging, our levels of NAD plus are declining, and we experience it every day by, requiring daytime naps, nana naps as we call them, by not being as fit and healthy probably, and getting tired easily, not being able to have the same aerobic capacity of strength like you used to. So increasing the NAD plus could be an answer to all those problems.
From my limited knowledge and research on this, does it affect your DNA in any way? Because I know that your DNA gets affected by sunlight, radiation, stuff like this, and that's how it starts to get damaged and deteriorate over time, hence what a factor is why we age. Does it have any kind of effect on that?
Well, it's all coming out of animal studies. So they've done, scientists around the world have worked on mice generally, and they found that one of the reasons mice aged, hence all the mammals or all the organisms age, is because the DNA gets damaged. Yeah. And the commonest cause of DNA getting damaged is sunlight, the UV radiation. So if you're spending a lot of time outside, you not only look older, you are older. By older, I mean you're getting older, so you're getting age-related diseases. So, it's big. That could mean aging is related to how much damage you acquire from radiation. So UV or the sun is the commonest source of damage to your DNA. And we all know in Australia there's so much skin cancer, and that's attributed to the DNA damage. So, but then other things can happen as well. So like old age, like cancers, like dementia, Alzheimer's, all related to DNA damage. In year 2000, early 2000s, I think 2003 or 4, when the human genome was decoded, and they found that the genome that we carry, the genes that we carry, are universally 70% similar. They found that all the plants, animals, marine life, and trees, insects, we all have 70% similar DNA. Yeah. And some of the plants can now, we know that they live up to the age of 3,000 to 4,000 years. So these plants have discovered something that we as race haven't. So what they've discovered is how to repair the DNA. And NMN helps you hopefully achieve that. We don't know yet. It's all studies done in mice. Yeah. But if that is to be believed, which I think we should, the future looks exciting.
Yeah, right. Because with the sun, that's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because I know that sun is also a vital component for vitamin D, right? Am I right by thinking that vitamin D from the sun is water soluble, isn't it? And we need that to absorb up into the body to help with our vitamin D levels. Yet at the same time, exposure to the sun increases the damage on our DNA. That's right. So if we could find a way of getting into the sun without having that damage or repairing that damage, then that could possibly be the answer for more longevity.
And not just the sunlight, it's the X-ray radiation. The unnecessary X-rays should be avoided. CAT scans should be avoided. If you don't need it, they should not be encouraged. Too many flights. When you fly, you acquire a lot of radiation, that part of the atmosphere. So
microwave meals,
yeah.
Wi-Fi,
that's right.
Phones in our pocket.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's things you can avoid and there's things you can't.
Yeah.
So hence we're trying to advise people to repair the DNA. Yeah. And there's various ways of doing that now.
So with the NAD, so NAD helps regenerate ATP. Is that what it is?
That's right.
So you've got the adenosine triphosphate that becomes diphosphate, right? But then it could regenerate back to triphosphate a finite amount of times?
Yes.
Does this give it more times it could regenerate back, or does it accelerate the generation back, or create more?
It just creates more ATP. It's just providing it the substrate to make more ATP. What really happens is there's certain genes called the sirtuins. These are the genes that repair your DNA. The tree, the red gum pine tree in, I think in North America, that some of them are close to 3,000 years old. And what that tree is doing is it's generating enough NAD plus and then stimulating the sirtuins, which are these genes that heal DNA. So these sirtuins, there are 7 in humans. That's the amount that we've found until now. And these 7 sirtuins, they repair your DNA. Once you repair your DNA, you can, in true sense, have an anti-aging effect, because it'll take you back to how your cell used to function a few decades ago.
That's incredible. So to think that we have already predetermined finite amount of ATP isn't actually true. We can create ATP.
Create ATP, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So theoretically, this is a massive theoretically, if we had the ability to completely regenerate that DNA, then we have a kind of limitless lifespan within reason.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
You could live to, much longer than you and I can think of. Theoretically, it's possible. And they've seen it in animal studies that animals were made to live 7 times longer than their lifespan. So, it's anybody's guess what the life span could be.
Now, what kind of results have you sort of seen or experienced yourself from people taking NMN, like increase of energy, stuff like this?
Well, anecdotally, because the NMN studies in humans are still pending. They're being conducted as we speak.
Yeah, okay.
But in animals, they've seen the animals got fitter, leaner. The hair turned back to its original color.
Wow.
The type 2 diabetes in certain mice was reversed. Not just taking NMN, there were some other things they were taking. So a substance called resveratrol, which is a ingredient found in grape skin, sometimes a little bit in peanuts. Resveratrol is stimulant of sirtuins. Now, sirtuins are these enzymes or genes that make those enzymes which heal your DNA. And these sirtuins need to be stimulated. So how do you stimulate those sirtuins? Yes, NAD provides them the energy to do their work, which is repairing the DNA. But they need to be woken up or stimulated.
Yeah.
So there is 7 sirtuins, and sirtuin 1 is stimulated by caloric restriction. So
yeah.
The old saying that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, which is true. So in wild nature, all these animals, the plants, they don't get food all the time. They don't get cozy 25 degrees Celsius temperature all the time. They tend to go through adversities, and these adversities kickstart these sirtuins into action. So in this day and age, we need to work. We need to go to work and do everything. What we can easily do in our day-to-day is don't eat food. We're eating too much food.
Yeah,
so if you can fast for 16 hours, you're stimulating the sirtuin 1, and that sirtuin 1, and if there's enough NAD plus, which could be from just being young or taking NMN, then that gives it the energy to do its job, and that sirtuin 1 will repair your DNA. So that is the reason why we say take resveratrol as well with NMN.
And possibly fasted.
And fast as well. And then there is treatments like, ice bath or cryotherapy. That stimulates sirtuin 1 and sirtuin 3. And both these sirtuins can then work on your DNA and make and repair it. Future looks bright. Future looks, true. So I call it health span, because it's not just you're increasing the number of years you're alive on the planet, but hopefully those years are healthier. Hopefully you're not as dependent on other services that people do get into.
So because I know for us we can see your biological age versus your actual age, right? A lot of times you'll find someone that's 50 years old that's like a biological age of 30, and vice versa. 30-year-old is more like the 50. Exactly. Obviously, those contribute those diet contributing towards it, and now radiation, stuff like this.
Yeah.
So this could be potentially the answer.
This could be the answer. Yeah.